All right, folks, it's official. Elon Musk has been nominated by Trump as to head up the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency in the US. I find this quite interesting. It's going to make for some interesting times over the next 18 months, which is the time period that Trump has given Elon Musk and Vivek to get the US government's finances in order with regards to spending and waste. As a mortgage broker, this is right up my alley. I work with clients all the time that need to get their finances in order, sometimes consolidating debt, sometimes reducing expenses, improving their credit scores, more or less improving their financial profile. And why this is applicable to what's going on with governments around the world, Argentina and now the US, and potentially or hopefully Canada in the years ahead, is that unless you are the reserve currency of the world like the US, at a certain point, actually it could happen to the US as well, at a certain point, people that purchase your bonds are no longer going to be happy with the risk that is associated with purchasing those bonds, and so they're not going to be willing to purchase them at the yield that you would like. Meaning that if you're trying to raise billions of dollars to finance a government at say 4 or 5%, the bond purchasers may say, no, we want 7%, or we're not going to purchase your bonds, or even higher than that. And so that's when you have a crisis, because if your finances have gotten so bad that bond purchasers from around the world, bond investors, are no longer willing to purchase your bonds, you could have a run on your currency. And in which case, the global world, the world more or less is running away from your country in terms of an investment. Canada has already been seen lately with the Trudeau government is not a great place to invest. And I think that we need to change this. And with the upcoming election, I think now is the time for us to stand up and vote for getting our finances in order. I'm not anti-social programs. I think there's certain social programs that are needed to support people that are not as fortunate as others. However, you have to have the means to finance them. You just can't continue borrowing money endlessly. And that is what we have been doing. We keep, the Trudeau government's been spending, and keeps coming up with all these programs, which are great. Well, not all of them, but most of them are great, but they don't have the money to do it. So they're just spending recklessly, and we need to fix this. I think as we go to the polls sometime in the next year, this is our time to vote. It would be ideal if, Elon and Vivek down in the US are super successful with cleaning up the US government's finances, and we have somewhat of an example or a template to use as in the years ahead for Canada. Being an entrepreneur he is, Elon, maybe he'll even outsource it. Maybe he'll template the processes and offer it up to other countries around the world that are friendly to the US in a way to help them get their finances in order. That would be great. So then it wouldn't be such a trial and error for Canada. We would just hire whatever entity they set up, assuming that they offer those services to foreign countries, and just get them to come into Canada. I mean, it would be a lot smaller project to do it to Canada, what they're going to do to the US, and more or less just get our finances in order, get our spending in line with our revenues, and get our country on a much better footing going forward, so that our kids and our kids' kids have a much brighter future. Because the way it's going right now, we just keep spending endlessly, and even the programs we're spending money on, it's the returns and the results we're getting are just horrible. Some of them are complete frauds. Some of them are just a complete waste of money. I think Canadians right now have very, very low confidence in our federal government's ability to deliver on its promises. That needs to change. So whether or not our next government is liberal or conservative, I don't really care. That's not what I'm focused on. What I am focused on is what are they going to do? What is their intention? What are their promises? And I don't want these bold promises about these social programs that we can't afford. I want a logical government using common sense to get our house in order so that our future generations, and even our own generation for 10, 20 years down the road, is in a much better position, more promising future. All right, everyone, that was a long rant. If you agree with this or support this ideology, like it and share. Take care.